Are trans people delusional? My name is Danica and I am a clinical pharmacist who works in psychiatry. So, I actually had a discussion with one of the psychiatrists I work with about this, right? And we concurred that people often throw this word around, delusion, without any actual understanding of what it means. So, if you allow me to explain, then we'll all be on the same page, okay? A delusion is a fixed false belief that is based on an inaccurate interpretation of an external reality despite evidence to the contrary. The belief also needs to be incongruent with the given person's culture or subculture, and almost everyone else must know it to be false. So, because beliefs around gender identity don't meet the criteria that I've just outlined, they can therefore not be considered delusions by definition. Okay? Hope that helps.
What are you talking about? You're delusional. Now, let me start out by saying I don't know what the hell was up with the audio on that first clip. I tried to edit it several times to get the volume up, but I couldn't seem to fix it. So I really hope you guys got the gist of what that trans woman was saying. That was the biggest self-own I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a very quick and slightly crazy clown world update for you guys today. And as usual, we just don't have any time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. So this purple-haired fella is Daphne. Now, Daphne is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a transbian or trans lesbian. Now, like most of the other trans lesbians we see here on the channel, Daphne also uses she, her pronouns, as well as ladies' restrooms. Wait, what?
Get a haircut, hippie.
All right, let's keep it moving with this Zoom meeting of white liberal women talking about voting for Carmelo Harris for president. Now, this one woman's going to pop up front and center in just 1 second, who is a former teacher turned online influencer. And this isn't a parody skit, this is real. Roll it.
Ariel Fodor, affectionately known as Mrs. Frazzle to her combined audience of over 1.5 million followers, is here to help gentle parent us through this election.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I am so honored to speak today. I am like shaking to just be among such incredible company. We are here because, as if you were here earlier, you've heard BIPOC women have tapped us in as white women to step up, listen, and get involved this election season. This is a really important time, and we all need to use our voices and influence for the greater good. No matter who you are all influencers in some way. So tonight, I'm going to share some do's and don'ts for getting involved in politics online and navigating the toxicity that comes with it. And spoiler alert, as much as the toxicity can come from the outside, it can come from us too. So first, don't isolate yourself. We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on. So do learn from and amplify the voices of those who have been historically marginalized, and use the privilege you have in order to push for systemic change. As white people, we have a lot to learn and unlearn. So do check your blind spots. You are responsible for your algorithm, believe it or not.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Those women on that Zoom call are the worst kind of people. Can you imagine sitting there getting lectured by that woman? Anyway, next up. So this fella thinks that he is breaking the MAGA cult. Roll it.
I think this is just kind of funny. I had a conversation with yet another one of my clients. Now, understand I live in an industry that is so thick with the MAGAs, it's unreal. And they are just about as unreasonable as you could possibly imagine. But one of those guys just sends me a message out of the blue today and says, "Am I all alone, or is it okay if I just vote for Harris because I just don't think she's evil? And I think that should at least be a reason enough for me to not vote for Trump and vote for Harris. And I said, yeah, man, that makes sense. And he just said to me, called me up and he goes, okay, why is that kind of base logic so hard for all of us on this side of the line? And I said, because you've kind of been in a cult and you might be waking up. And he said, shit, I hate it when you're right. Something's changing, guys. It really is. Something is changing, and I like it.
Hey, this guy's a commie!
All right, next up we have this interesting conversation amongst these people who think if you are huge, you can still be healthy. Roll it.
Even when I was 8 years old in that appointment where I remember clear as day, my doctor holding up the growth chart, she asked me what my favorite food was, and I said tomatoes. And my mom, bless her heart, was like, but you love mac and cheese. And then it was this whole thing of, well, cat's out of the bag or something or whatever. Like, I'm like,
so do a lot of skinny people love mac and cheese.
But my favorite food is tomatoes. I eat tomatoes. To this day, I eat tomatoes basically every day. Like, why is the assumption that I was like hiding that? Or why is that even really relevant? Like, right. You asked me as an 8-year-old what my favorite food was, and I said it was a fruit vegetable.
Yeah, and that's what is like so insidious in the culture in general. A, they don't believe that a fat person could be like healthy, and B, think that they have more of a right with someone that's like fat to like pick that their diet apart or just like to just involve themselves.
Oh wait, was she a great big fat person?
Yeah, she was a big girl, sir.
All right, next up we have this individual who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a lesbian, but that's not relevant right now. Here's someone commented on his TikTok, "You're a guy, act like one," and here is his response. Roll it.
You're a guy, act like one.
That last night was a movie. Me and the boys went out, Jax, Dax, and B-Rax. We were going to a bar downtown, but of course Dax was hungry, so we had to stop at Mickey D's and get a McDubby, you know? It was a good time. We got to the bar. Dax was trying to hit on this girl. She was an absolute dime. Until she said he was corny, and then we realized she was more of a nickel. Anyway, I was going to go hit on this girl. She was super cute. But then I realized I spent my last $5 at McDonald's. So I let her pay, you know, equal rights and stuff. It worked out pretty well until she asked me, like, wait, aren't you gay? My first thought was, hey, yo. But I decided to keep my cool, keep my composure. And I hit her with, baby, I can be anything you want me to be. Somehow that didn't work. I don't know what happened. But anyway, we ended up going home, and then Dax, for some reason, wanted to get out of the car and steal like a traffic cone or something. I don't know. The man's stupid, but
I can now see how like method actors go a little crazy because that made me want to projectile vomit. Please don't make me do that again.
What the f are you talking about, man?
All right, next up we have this clip from a podcast where this young lady is interviewing this trans woman with the Pokemon jersey on. She asks him what he thinks should be taught to children in schools. He tells us, and then he reminds us, he doesn't have any kids. Roll it.
How do you feel about kids learning about the different groups of identities in school?
They should learn about it. I feel like kids should learn about everything that has to do with them.
Yes.
And if some kids feel like they are an opposite gender or that should be in school, like they should, if something happens to a kid, they should be able to differentiate what parts are, like don't call it like a nickname, call it the actual, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying?
Too graphic for children. They're like, okay, this is a trans woman, this is a trans man, this is what their body parts looked like before. Oh, this is what it looks like now. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Put it that way, that it is kind of considered the same.
I don't have kids, so I'm not trying to, like, put my stuff on.
Say.
Man, you are one twisted fuck.
Hey, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen. Wow, that is quite a haircut. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by the Etsy store Red Clover Fields. Now, Many of you know that is my wife's Etsy store, and she's got some fantastic stuff on her website. Stuff I use every day, and I swear by it. So if you want to take control of your health and start getting away from some of those big pharma products, look for some more natural remedies, definitely go peruse her store. I will put a link to that in the description box below. So once again, today's video sponsor is the Etsy store Red Clover Fields. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've seen enough of this. Get this off the screen, please. Oosh.
What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay.
So let me preface this next clip by saying I do feel bad for this young lady. She's a newscaster just trying to get the live shot, trying to get her story out. But when I first saw this clip, I could not stop laughing. I'm guessing it's a bunch of guys driving by that keep honking at her. She gets so frustrated, I think she eventually gives up. Roll it.
On Brown, WBRZ, Team 2 traffic. While they were removing 2020. Bruh. Jesus. Oh my God! While DOT.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this fantastic compilation clip. Now, I don't know who put it together, so unfortunately, I can't give them credit, but it is all of Vice President Chlamydia Harris's most famous quotes, and it is glorious. So enjoy. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
The significance of the passage of time. We must together work together. We celebrate and we honor the women who made history throughout history. I love Venn diagrams. Who doesn't love a yellow school bus? The clock is not only ticking, it is banging. Here's the motivation. You. Figure out what kind of gives you, your brain like a tingle. That plant needs less water, more water, less sun, less sun.
You haven't been before.
And I haven't been to Europe. Let me tell you something. I have studied the maps. Do not come. Do not come. Yes, I just did do DEI. Dream with ambition. Have big dreams. Don't remember that? You are the mayor. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. We did it, Joe. I'm Vice President of the United States. Anything that I handle is because it's a tough issue.
The fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about?
And you ain't black.